Hello, my beautiful soulmate clients and friends. This is Sabine Messner coming to you with another courageous journey, soul journey, client case study / testimonial. When I talk to people about how important it is to really start out with their soul power, to not sort of get too caught up in their heads about what you may think is a prudent thing to do when starting out a business and so on and so forth. Oftentimes people think that all the soul stuff can come later, when the foundation is rock solid, when you have figured out how to build a business and how to do it the right way, and you work so hard on getting it right, and then there's all this fear inside of you, all this doubt, and this almost like sometimes terror that lets you kind of like question, is this the right thing? Am I doing is this the right strategy? Is this the right time? So today I want to share with you an incredibly inspiring journey of a young woman, mother and wife who has, as a consequence of having done this soul work with me, had the courage to not only quit her job, but basically leave her career behind and start working for herself, and also been able to rally her entire family around an amazingly powerful vision. And it's this very, very vision that she is now in business with that is also the services and the offering that she wants to offer to other families. And it's basically in a powerful invitation to stop being in survival, to stop sort of imprinting even on your little children that you are on the treadmill. Mommy and daddy are not on the treadmill to lose weight. They're on the treadmill to keep making the money come in, but it doesn't really go anywhere. You're not really going anywhere as a family. You're just kind of like, constantly in this battle of complexity, and there is no end in sight. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you today to my most inspiring, amazing Emerge client, Alana Heim. And Alana Heim just recently went through the Emerge retreat experience. And it was through that experience that she was reconnected with an even greater vision of her soul purpose, and has since then quit her job, started her own business, and like I said, made this amazing transformation. Before I introduce you to Alana, though, let me just brag a little bit on her. So Alana is a certified public accountant. She's also a certified financial planner, and she's a human design specialist as well. She's also the mother of 3, including the mother of 2-year-old twins. And as if this would not be enough, she's also the beautiful wife of a U.S. Marine veteran who served in Iraq. And so when Alana quit her job, it was in the midst of the tax season, like at the height of this whole sort of, busyness. And when you think about maybe your own situation, maybe you are still in a career that has had an expiration date, or maybe you are in a job that is no longer purposeful. Yes, it pays the bill and you're very, very grateful to your employer, to these opportunities. I don't mean to, take away from that, but on a soul level, we know the difference when we feel that we're in the right place and when we feel like we are called to do something bigger and greater. So if you are in that situation where you feel like you are trapped in a job, in a career, or in a situation that makes you feel like you have no future, then I want you to really listen to this interview with Alana. So with all of this being said, Alana, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for making yourself available.
Oh, thank you, Sabina, for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. So I have, 3 questions for you, Alana. So what had you say yes to the emerging experience? Why did you knew at the time when we talked that you really needed to get that soul power into your business vision? Why did you feel that this was the magic key to your sort of exodus and departure into entrepreneurship?
So when I would work and sit at my desk as a CPA, typing and listening to different summits, I just wanted to learn more and more. So I stumbled across some information about business, and that's where I found you. I listened to your message in this summit that I listened to, and it just really called to me. So in this time, I knew I wasn't happy. I knew I wasn't being fulfilled. I knew I wasn't serving to the greater extent that I'm here to serve. So ultimately, I heard what you said about this Emerge retreat and starting to come at business through my soul to create a brand. And I was still just in this processing phase of considering a business. I still didn't know in my heart yet that I was really going to quit my job and do all of this. But at the same side, there really was something in my heart that was calling me. And that's where I feel that I resonated with you. So in that moment, I listened, I heard it. I just knew, being a planner at all levels, that I needed this piece to get me started in my business. I didn't want to rebrand in the future. I didn't want to recreate whatever my business was supposed to be. I wanted it to be right from the start. And I knew that going inward to find my soul and my essence through my brand was exactly what I needed. Now, the catch was, when I got to speak to you, I found out that the retreat was actually during tax season. And for me, that was a very difficult decision to make, just because in my career, in my job, I was required to work throughout from February to April. There's no vacation, there's no extra time off. And ultimately, I've just listened to my heart, and I followed what my heart told me. And I knew that this was something that was really important. And if nothing stood in the way, would I take this retreat and emerge? And absolutely I would. So I booked it with you. I knew that somehow, some way, I was going to make it happen. I was going to make it work. And so that's ultimately what happened. I took the plunge and I emerged, and I'm so excited that I did.
Oh my God, yeah, you really did it. I mean, you really listened from your heart, and you went from somebody who was sort of like casually poking around online for ideas, opportunities, strategies, formulas, system services, just sort of like being open, like so many of you are out there, right? Yes. You went from basically a casual window shopper to become a very determined, like, sprinter. You know, this was the tax season, and you're also a very high integrity person. This was not something that you wanted to sort of like, you still wanted to really do a good job, right, with your clients and your projects. So it just meant that you had to work harder, longer, and on the weekends to make up for the time. But you said yes and yes.
Correct.
Now, at the time when you said yes, you actually didn't have this unfolded business vision that you are now able to implement and plan and execute and start to grow, right? So tell us, what has happened since you said yes to Emerge? Talk a little bit about your vision. What is it actually that you're planning on doing? And also, how has it impacted not only your own identity, your own life, but also that of your family, because I know that they have become a very big part of your business vision.
Yes. So after doing Emerge, I came out with so much clarity. So even going back to March, April, when I went through Emerge, at that point, I was still formulating, and Emerge really helped me to dive deeper into who I am, what is my essence, what is my purpose, what's my big vision. And at that time, I knew that there was this legacy component. I knew I really wanted to shift the generations to come up in understanding money and having that relationship with wealth, but it was still very sticky and it wasn't quite formulating. And so since emerging, I've just been kind of on this path of clarity. And the more I take action, the more this clarity just emerges. And my business, Prosperity Alignment, is my essence. That's a brand that came from Emerge, and it just resonates with me and so many others on this level, because when you can align with your values, to your goals, to your spending intentions, the habits you have, the way you feel about yourself, when everything's in alignment and you're authentic and you're on purpose, prosperity just unfolds. It's around you. It's from within you. It just emanates. And that's the really cool part from being in Emerge, is that's what I feel within me. And I know that this is my soul essence. And ultimately, when clients want to work with me, it's because they're working with me. They feel me. They can feel me through the brand. My family has really just taken kind of hold of this. And my oldest daughter, who's almost 8, she's constantly talking about mommy's working with her business, and, you know, she wants to help and she wants to be included. And she was a part of the despacho ceremony that was at the tail end of the Emerge retreat. And she just loves it. It's on her summer to-do list because she wants to do it herself. And she just could feel the power of the ceremony. And she's just in love with that whole process. My husband is really this other piece of me that gets what I'm doing. So now that I've gone through Emerge and we have this ultimate vision of healing along the lines of wealth and money and the relationship, and he sees it and he's a part of it, and he is here to help me be the best me so that we can bring this movement out into the world and just really shift it. So to have him on board, to see the value that this program really gave, and that it is a great program that I am blessed to have been able to give my money to you, to be able to receive this. It really means the world. It was something that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. And now I have my brand and I get to live it every day going forward. And that's not something most people get to be excited about, and I get to be. And I hope that everybody else listening who goes through this program feels the same way.
Actually, the people that are going through the program, you know, for the most part feel all that way as well, you know, because it's such a freeing, empowering and liberating union, right? When you become one with your vision. Steve Jobs once said, you know, if you have a vision, you don't have to push it. It pulls you. Mm-hmm. My favorite quote of all times. I mention it all the time because you can't talk about it often enough. Alana, if you would have not said yes to Emerge a couple months ago, only maybe 4 short months or so ago, where would you be today? Would you still be employed, do you think?
I knew I had to do Emerge at that particular time, because if I waited any longer, the timing just wouldn't have worked. So ultimately, I had to say yes at that time. Could I have said no and waited until the summer or later? I wouldn't have had this momentum. I may have let my mindset take over and overthink and think that, you know what, I can make my job work. I can make myself happy. I can continue to do this path. But ultimately, I would have come to another crossroad, another realization that being the CPA that I was designed to be, just preparing taxes, just working with clients one-on-one and sitting ultimately by myself most of the day, is not part of my energy. It's not part of my soul purpose. I really am here to teach and to guide and to be in front of people, sharing my knowledge, sharing my wisdom so that I can make a greater impact, to be giving back on this contribution level of this is me. This is who I am here to be. The Emerge retreat helped me to pull that out, because too often it was easy to hide and to not be authentic or not to really follow my footsteps, because I was in the mindset that what if somebody wants me to be this way? What if my boss really just needs me here at my desk? And that's kind, that's generous, but it's not fulfilling, and it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my family. I have a family, and I really wanted to be with my family. And when I realized time and time again, my job came first, my job got in the way. Could I do this program? Is there anything holding me back? It was my job. And so to be able to step out and take that courageous plunge into, yes, I'm going to do this Emerge program, gave me that extra bit of courage to step into my true role, to be who I'm here to be, and to not feel bad that I had to quit. Because the reality is we all feel bad for something that, you know what, someone's going to get over, or we are replaceable, or our life purpose is so much bigger. And I love being a CPA. I'm still a CPA. I've just chosen a different, completely new, unpaved path at what a CPA can be and to do for clients in a whole new way. And that's exciting because I am a pioneer, and that's where I'm headed because I took the plunge. I said yes to Emerge. So where would I be without having said yes? I may have gotten here at some point. Maybe not quite yet. I would have still tossed and turned, but ultimately, I think I would have still quit. I just may have needed something else to help give me that courage.
And nothing better than your own soul, right? Ushering you through that gateway. Alana, you said some very important thing about the vision, and I just want to also take a moment and really clarify the great vision that we unfolded during the Emerge retreat, and that is really of you together also as sort of like an iconic family, the sort of modern young American family, to really and you mentioned the word movement earlier, to really help other families to return home to their own values, This is beyond religion. This is beyond, political orientations. This has really to do with basically a homecoming to the family as a partnership, as a unit, where we have so much separation and survival and struggle in modern day families, from TV dinners to gaming, to no conversations, to no connections, to this survival imprint that I mentioned earlier when we got started. When you really look into the family unit, it is sort of disappearing. And you are really up in arms about that. And so having the skills as a certified financial planner, as a certified CPA, but also as somebody who can absolutely determine through the human design process, what is a life's purpose, a person's purpose, right? You are uniquely equipped to really, in quote unquote, rescue the American, hopefully, middle class. The middle class is disappearing, and the middle class is the healthy backbone of all economies, of all, it's a very important mission that you're on. And so we have seen that, we have made that vision from a small dream that, maybe one day, we could be doing that, to something that is now your business mission statement. Big, big, big deal. We called it Prosperity Alignment. And yes, we got the .com domain, and you have already filed for a trademark. In addition, you have actually come up yourself once the wheels got turning with the Prosperity Compass, right? So now we can sort of like really dial all of the aspects of a family life, health, wealth, a personal, recreation, and all of those things. We can dial all of that into sort of that sweet spot, so that together that family as a partnership, as a unit, can start to thrive and not just merely survive. I hope I really did your prosperity alignment vision justice here, but that's basically what has come out as a result of the Emerge retreat for you?
Yes. And it ultimately starts with each one of us. So it begins with you as this person who has inner struggles. And we have a wealth of time and energy and love and money and support. And there's so many of these components that really just kind of sometimes get clouded and lost in the shuffle, because maybe you have kids or maybe you don't have kids, but you can make such a big impact in the world just by being you. And when you're in alignment with being authentic and having your values be put first, you start to realize what's important in life. So even with your children, the way you raise them, the way you feed them, the way you teach them, the way you be with them, it just filters and emanates to everyone. And that's what I see with the family unit. It's just go, go, go. And we've got to get to soccer, and we've got to get to gymnastics and swim and karate. And, then the family dinners are out on the road. And then the family time together is lost because there's so much game time or nature. I love nature. I love being barefoot outside. And, most of our families don't go outside very often. I mean, I know that Pokemon Go is this new fad that's going on and everyone's outside, but for the most part, as a family, to go and just connect and to simplify life, to be how it should be, how it was centuries ago. And you just put everything that you love first, and you just take that time to really honor each other and to love each other. And we know that you watch TV, there's so many things going on, and we get caught up in some of that negative energy. And ultimately it still starts here, because when you're happy with who you are and your family is happy, others see that, they feel that energy, and they want to be part of it, and they want to learn. And that's the movement I see, is just really working, whether it's one person or one family at a time, and just, we all get on the same page of solidarity and partnership and helping each other, because society is too wrapped up in the competition and, the cutthroat aspect and the scarcity and the lack. But there's so much abundance and everything, and there's enough for everyone. And that's the piece that sometimes we just forget, because we're not present and we're not here connected and grounded and feeling, to stop and say hello to somebody walking by and brighten their day and just help bring up the energy in the world. And that's ultimately the big vision that I have, to just shift who we are so we can shift these future generations and these children growing up to completely revolutionize and change how we as society work together.
I so echo everything that you said. I love your vision. I think it's absolutely the way to go. So many of us are thinking that we have to sort of like chase after, the money and the paycheck, where really prosperity is a consequence of the value retrieval, right? And that's sort of like, soul retrieval, if you will, as a family. So this is, what's happened in just a mere couple of weeks. So in closing, Alana, if other people are at the verge of sort of like quitting their job, they feel that soul yearning, but they're also really terrified of making the leap or making the mistake. What if they don't have a big vision? What if they don't get clients? All of that, all of those fears and concerns that are to a degree valid. What would you tell them about Emerge, and why does it matter so much that you start with that soul vision and don't sort of like postpone that towards a later date?
Yeah. So I tell you to stop, take a deep breath, and really become in tune with your body and your heart. What does your heart tell you? Because we're conditioned to believe that our thoughts are ultimately what we use to make decisions, and it's more our heart. The more we can lead with our heart and do what feels right, the more you're going to have clarity. And once you take action, clarity just unfolds. When you trust yourself, That's the ultimate decision-making tool that you have. So when you can stop and take a deep breath and feel that discomfort, you know you're in the right spot. You're in the right place, because that discomfort is there for a reason, because it's part of your resistance. We have resistance, and it's just a matter of, do you embrace that resistance and you say, hello, resistance, you're coming with me because this is where we're going? Or do you let it take control of you and pull you in the other direction? Because there are many things in life that can hold us back, but too often it really just comes from within. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're telling yourself, that I won't get enough clients, or I don't have a big vision, or I don't know what I'm here to do, the more you trust that you do have a purpose, we each have a purpose. For the most part, it's about honoring you first, and honoring who you are, being you, and following what you truly feel is right for you. And to say yes to emerge is the soul journey that you've been longing for. And it really is something that you might have resistance around, because maybe you're not really in touch with your soul and you don't know what your soul's been telling you most of your life. And that's okay, because when you go through emerge, you get to meet your soul, and you get to actually see it and realize, oh my goodness, that has been right here in front of me my whole life. I just wasn't trained or taught how to recognize and have it be what's leading me. So to say yes to emerge now is crucial. If you wait, you're just putting that much more resistance in the way of saying yes. And resistance is always there as long as you let it be there. So if you can embrace and say, guess what? This is our journey. This is where we're going. You're going to be so much happier for having made that plunge, and changing your mindset and really just starting to feel with your heart. So impactful and helpful. So say yes. I know you can do it.
Alana, I mean, wow, this is evidence. What a beautiful old soul you are in a beautiful, wise young body. And also what a gifted mentor you are. You did a really, really amazing job in really speaking to that person to really bring them home to themselves, which is, of course, also what you're doing in your work and in your business. So with that, we want to leave you with a very easy next step. Go to soulpurposebranding.com and then click on that Get Started link up at the top, or type in soulpurposebranding.com/get-started. Talk to me. This is the summer to emerge. Alana is not the exception. When it comes to emerge, it's the real deal. We are helping you to put your soul into your brand so you can get not only your business, but also always your life on purpose. I'm Sabine Metzner, and I can wait to assist you to emerge with your soul purpose. Thank you so much, Alana, for sharing your courageous story. Bye-bye now.
Bye.